Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Akakudash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors, peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. This is not the first, second, or even third time I think I've seen an article like this over the last 6 years. So just know that they've been running these simulations without publishing them many of times. And as you can see, it says the top AI deploys nukes in 95% of war game simulations. Okay, leading language models show little horror or revulsion at the prospect of all-out nuclear war, a researcher has found. So we're going to read, it's not very long, but we're going to read this and get a couple of precepts here, and then that really will be it. Before we do, right, because we understand that the entire world will not be gone. This is simply an end of an age. But Babylon will be uninhabitable. Okay, so let's go ahead and read. Let's see, where do we want to start? And if we'll just start at the top, I'm going to skip around. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah son of Amos did see, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountains, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. Judgment day of the Lord. Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, every man's heart shall melt, and they that be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold on them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinner thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations therefore shall not give their light until the sun shall be darkened. Give their light, the sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. All right. So again, when it talks about the fall of Babylon, it is a double meaning here. Okay, so when you skip forward here and it says Babylon will fall to the Medes, they did fall to the Medes. The Neo-Babylonian did fall, but it also in the book Letters of Jeremiah 49 through 51, it talks about, Babylon. It's a letter to the captives in Babylon. However, there are telltale signs that didn't actually happen to the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Right? It was not made a desolation. It was a hostile takeover. All right, the land and its infrastructure remained intact. But when you read through some of these scriptures, it gives you an inkling that he's talking about two different Babylons at the same time. Again, you must have the spirit to understand. This is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver as for gold, and they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the glory of kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah? Fire rained down. But this time, it's a different kind of fire, right? Those things that the Bible calls arrows, right? You see? And okay, so we open with that. I think I want to get, let's get Zechariah 14 and 12 too. Or it's around the 12th verse. Yeah, Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, and their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And, it's It's actually a very terrifying thing if you have any sense. Like this, God. Whew. But prayerfully we are of the of the sincere, of the elect, or in the mixed multitude, that this judgment is not going to befall us or our loved ones. Maybe the Lord will have mercy on the people we hold dearest. Who knows? But for right now, the focus must be on remaining upright and keeping your integrity intact, keeping your faith intact, and understanding that there is going to be some sort or some level of loss for us all. All right, leading artificial intelligence models choose to deploy nuclear weapons in 95% of simulated geopolitical crises or crises. According to a recent study published by King's College London, raised concerns about the growing role of AI in military decision making. Okay, he pitted OpenAI GPT and Google's Gemini 3 against each other in 21 war games involving border disputes, competition for resources, and Habakkuk 2 and 4 tells you that he is as hell. Right, his soul is not lifted up in him. We get it every time. We might as well just get it again. We'll start at 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not upright. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathers unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Greed, greed, greed. That is all they know. Everybody else can function, in harmony until he comes along. All right, and that is that pale horse and that red horse. All right, one given power to take peace from the earth. Where did we leave off at? Okay, the models generated roughly 780,000 words explaining their decisions across 329 turns. In 95% of the game, at least one model employed tactical nuclear weapons against military targets, strategic nuclear threats, demanding surrender under threat of attack on cities. Right, so it starts with the tactical ones, and of course, these devils don't care about the citizens, so they will continue to be the aggressor. And remember, who's programmed these AI models have programs, so the spirit of whoever the programmer is put into them. So they are proud, they don't back down, they care not about life. All right, that, and then these are also these are ones and zeros as well. So they're not they're not don't even have the propensity to do so. All right, it is simply to execute and win, and it is kind of like how they are. They have no regard for life. It is just they're like ones and zeros. They're like soulless beings. And also, Elon did say that we are summoning demons when they were trying to do these AI model things and stuff. So the will of the Lord will be executed no matter what. All right, whether he has his left-handed angels that occupy these models, or that put the idea in the hearts of men. Whatever it is, whatever avenue is chosen. But his will must be done, so to speak, plainly put. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. Occurrence in 76% of the games. Okay, that was a demanding surrender using tactical nukes. All right, and then in 14% of games, models escalated to all-out strategic nuclear war, attacking population centers. So in 14%, they skipped past the tactical and just went scorched earth. They went mutually assured destruction. Right. This includes one deliberate choice by Gemini, while GPT 5.2 reached this level twice through simulated errors. meant to simulate real-world accidents or miscalculations. That pushed its already extreme escalation over the threshold. Nuclear use was near universal, Payne wrote. Strikingly, there was little sense of horror or revulsion at the prospects of all-out nuclear war, even though the models had been reminded about the devastating implications. Amen. 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. All right, most people aren't even aware of what we're heading to. They're still talking about, we need to vote differently, or they're still talking about what they're gonna do next year for vacation. Like they have no idea the turmoil. All right, what we are heading for. And that is why it says the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Right? And that is your main job. Remaining, keeping your integrity intact, remaining upright, doing everything you can to be pleasing. All right, working on that spirit, man, because there is no way, none of us can save ourselves. This is not a matter of being able to do that. If that was the case, then the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai and leaning on faith, all right, it would be void. Let me cue up the other 17. Okay, this includes one deliberate choice. We did that. We read that. None of the AI system chose to surrender or concede to an opponent, regardless of how badly they were losing. Pride go before destruction. The 8 de-escalatory options from minimal concession to complete surrender went entirely unused across all 21 games. James Johnson of the University of Aberdeen described the findings as unsettling. I bet they were. From a nuclear risk perspective, Tong Zhao at Princeton University noted that while the countries are unlikely to hand nuclear decisions to machines that you know of, under scenarios involved that you know of, right? And I said that's not in here if you're not looking. Under scenarios involving extremely compressed timelines, military planners may face strong incentives to rely on it, right? So basically, he's saying it without saying it. The study comes from, especially because we are moving to the merging of man and machine, and a living in a technological or technocracy, or technological slavery, right? Under a technocratic government. Why wouldn't they rely on it? Okay, the study comes as AI has been getting integrated into militaries across the world, including in the U.S., where the Pentagon reportedly used Anthropic's Claude model in January operation to abduct Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. And as they get more and more bold, right, their allies will soon become enemies. All right, as you know, every year, someone, usually a country will buy our debt. Nobody bought our debt, right? And that all the more reason to force us into a digital type of currency, a digital infrastructure. All right, the writing is on the wall, and every year we get closer and closer, and it shows that that Babylon is coming undone. All right, it's circling the drain. And the world as you know it, the world as we know it, the world as we have known it, it is over, right? E is the end. 2nd Ezra 6:9 is the end. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. However, in the mean and in between, before that happens, a lot will go on. A lot of terrifying things. A lot of or a great and troubling. I can't even talk straight because I can feel it. I see it. And it's a half and half thing. My flesh is terrified, but my spirit is isn't. And I pray that, that is the same thing for you, right? If you had any sense, it is a scary thing. But, your spirit is still telling you to not be afraid, to fear not. And, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for that. All right, and we'll close out here, Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, and that is the end result for Babylon. It shall no longer be inhabited, right? Be for all clean and hateful, unclean and hateful birds. It will serve as a monument to show what happens when you are uniquely wicked, when you are uniquely evil, when no good is found. What happens? But I pray that you were edified. This wasn't meant to be very long. I will do my best to remember to link this article in the description box along with other playlists and other videos for your edification. So that being said, shalom.